So here we're playing with a very simple project with the XMEGA-A3BU. And the very first part we turned on a LED and then we made it toggle 500 milliseconds with a delay. In the second part now we're going to try and use a timer instead. So opening ASF, the wizard, and searching for timer, we can find the timer counter. Adding to selection the dependencies here that it uses the multi-level interrupt controller, so it's going to be interrupt driven timing that we're going to try and look at using. The green arrow here also is a convenient way of showing the dependencies of the timer counter module. So we've been working in the Solution Explorer. There's our main, our ASF.h. We look at the ASF Explorer. There's a convenient way of accessing documentation such as quick start guides. I'm going to drag this across here so it's easily accessible and viewable. So, overflow interrupt based, so that's what we're looking at, that's what we're trying to do. So we use a timer to trigger an interrupt when the timer overflows. Okay, and there's some example code. There's a callback function for interrupt routine. So they ask us enable the interrupt controller, enable the clock system, enable the timer counter, set the callback function of the overflow event. So basically it's this code that they're wanting us to paste into our main. So enable the interrupt controller, the system clock, choose a particular timer counter module. If we wanted to see what else is available, we could Alt-G and we can see that there's a 16-bit timer counters, 0, 1 and 2 that we can see on that particular port. You can see that there's some more down here. There's lots of different options. Let's leave it as default. Set the overflow interrupt to a particular callback routine. So we must paste in this section of code. Okay, so we looked on our board and we decided we're going to flash LED 0. Maybe in this section let us turn the LCD backlight on and off. So how would we do that? Well, we would quickly look into the board's file, light sensor LCD controller, and here's a backlight pin. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. We can use GPIO functions. Maybe there's a toggle. Okay, let's have a look and see what GPIO functions we have available to us. GPIO toggle pin. And we wanted to paste our backlight pin. So let's go back to the quick start guide of the timer counter. Okay, so we set up. Now we're wanting to again toggle every twice a second. So, well, first of all, how fast are we operating? So we can find that out by looking in config, conf clock. You can see the main system clock source is the 2 MHz RC oscillator. So prescaler divisions are just 1, so we know that we are just operating at 2 MHz. So we're needing to count to 1,000,000. So we were wanting to count to 1,000,000, but we've got a 16-bit timer which can count to 65,000. So we might have to set a prescaler. So dividing by about 65,000, we need to count to about. So we can see that the clock divisor here, Alt-G again, we can find there's no 16 but there's 64, so that'll do for us. And you can see then we're changing the prescaler. So now we're wanting to toggle every 2 seconds, so we know that we have to count So it was 1 million divided by 64. We need to count to 15,625. 15,625. Okay, so let's compile and go. Okay, now if you could see my board, you would see that the LCD backlight is flashing.